Oh, and we are live. Welcome everybody to the Men of the Metaverse podcast slash YouTube show slash whatever you want to call it. It's just really a big discussion with men. We talk about women issues as well. You know, a lot of people like to say men need to stay out of women's business, but that's still a part of our community, and we want to give insight on that too. I am Beach Dad, aka Brandon, or vice versa. I'm here with Lewis, aka My Life, My Money Media. How you doing today, Lewis? Can
I'm
you hear me? Oh, I'm about to say,
doing
just
just
making.
green degrees and I'm feeling. Yeah, can you hear
Yeah, the
me?
weather. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. The weather is a little cold. I guess we're getting that winter. I guess it's a push down this way, and we're because it's usually never that this cold. It was like 19 degrees last night down here.
It was 8 degrees up here.
No, no. See, we don't have no kind of weather like that down here, so it feels a little different moving around. That's normal for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Is it snowing where you are?
Ne-
Because
no, what they said when the wind was blowing, it was -11 wind
yeah,
chill.
yeah. Nah, see, nah. That's too cold. But I did make it safely to my mom's house, and I know you say you traveling for the week for the holidays. Happy
All
holidays,
right, Brandon, what
everyone.
you want?
Hold on, whoa, let me finish. Can I finish?
What
Let
you
me,
want to lose those viewers?
we ain't got
Go
done yet.
ahead.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, I got. Can I check on my friend and see how my friend doing?
uh,
Yeah, look.
wait, you know?
All right,
Okay. Wait,
all
yeah,
right.
you right. You right. Ours, the editors out.
All right, well, let's get into it. Tory got found guilty. How do you feel about it? Go.
Uh, I well, that's the justice system. Me personally, was gonna get thrown out. I thought this he was gonna end with an acquittal. I thought
Yeah,
you at least have one jury person that say it's not enough conclusive
evidence.
evidence to say 100% to give this man 23 years, 100% on 23 years.
Right.
But that didn't happen, man.
Yeah.
That didn't happen on this case. I felt like this case should have been kind of treated like how they did O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
O.J. Simpson was found not guilty. Oh no, not excuse me. He was acquittal
He was
because
acquitted.
innocent and not guilty means two different things.
That's correct.
I'm not saying Tory Lane is innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Tory Lane was not guilty
Right.
due to insufficient evidence. But they should have did this thing like they did OJ, get him not guilty, and then Megan Thee Stallion come to sue the hell out of Tory Lanez
Right.
for civil trial.
I thought there was no way they
How
were
about
gonna.
yourself?
I thought there was no way they were gonna accuse him. I mean, find him guilty. Like we say, just because it was not enough evidence, the prosecution didn't provide a good enough case for us to believe that he did it. You know what I'm saying? So this was a shock
It's
to me.
almost like they it's almost like they pick and choose what evidence to present.
Right.
Like take out all of the lies and from Megan Thee Stallion and her friend,
Mm-hmm.
remove all those lies and remove the statement from the independent witness where the man said he saw two people shooting a gun, a
Right.
male and a female.
Yeah.
Also, they were like, remove this statement too. I saw three people beating down one person.
Right.
So if me and Brandon are beating down one person, and Brandon, can you hear me, Brandon?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just delayed a little
Okay.
bit. Go ahead.
If me and Brandon are beating down one person, and I pull a gun and shoot the person, more than likely Brandon's gonna get charged for shooting too,
Yeah.
because we were both doing the beating in the first place.
Right. But I just don't think
But
that's what they wanted
it's
to do. They
it
didn't
is
want to
what
do that.
it is.
They wanted to find Tory guilty for
No, they
this.
didn't want to.
Hmm? They didn't want to find Tory guilty, or they did.
No, they did wanted to do this. I agree with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. They had their man. It don't matter what happened. It doesn't matter if Chelsea is really if Chelsea said she shot Meg, I still think they might have want to still get Tory for it because they were like, well, Chelsea may be lying now. She might be trying to say this to save Tory's life or whatever, or and keep him out of jail. Like they just wanted Tory, and they already had their minds made up before the case even started, and that's why it's dangerous to have a jury and have it publicized and have all this stuff come out and have Meg sit down with Gail and do that interview and stuff because you're persuading people to be a certain side before the case has even started. You haven't even looked at the evidence yet. So
Now, I won't say it's dangerous to have a jury, Brandon,
okay,
because it only takes one of the 12 to disagree. That's when the shit gets thrown out.
I agree.
But I do think it was bias in here because they put a gag order on Tory Lanez for 2 years, and Megan had the free will to speak lies, truth, and her story to the world.
Yeah, and I think that. Oh, go ahead. You gonna say something else?
And Tory Lanez did not have the, we got a little delay, that's why I've got to pause. And
Yeah.
Tory Lanez did not have the opportunity to say anything or a rebuttal. You just got one side of the story,
right,
in the public.
And before people see this and think we're I guess siding with Tory Lanez, we're not necessarily siding with Tory Lanez. It's just we're trying to rely on the justice system to do the right thing. And if he goes to court and he presents his case and the prosecution does what they do and they fall short, then it's just up to the 12 jury, the people on the jury, to be like, this is not enough evidence. We can't convict him of these felonies because we haven't seen enough. And I just think they're wrong on that. But it is a movement where you need to protect Black women, and I think that played a lot into this case and into people's minds. So we want to protect Black women, but at the same time, go ahead.
In my opinion, Tory Lanez is not innocent.
Right.
He something, most likely he done something.
Right.
But also to the fact, gun residue was on 2 people.
Right.
And independent eyewitness saw 2 people shoot.
Right. And I think that,
so
I
you
think
just
that,
can't take all that stuff.
Go ahead.
And throw it out the window.
Right. They want to protect Black women, but they're, you can't let a Black man be the fall guy for another Black woman, because it could have been a Black woman on a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? And a Black man was present and he played a part in it too. So I just wish more evidence came out. Now looking back, I wish Tory Lanez would have testified and gave his account of what happened that night. But I guess we'll never hear the real story from his eyes or his point of view.
Boy, Tory had to be real slick. I don't know, he's smart enough to go up there and talk. This old thing he had to say. Go to stand. Those girls was fighting, and I didn't shoot nobody for a fact, and that's all I know. I don't know nothing else. Like all the girls said, my hair was blurry.
Right,
I was
right.
drinking alcohol. I don't remember what happened, you know. And here's another thing that's really asinine. The jury, in my opinion, they decided to use no evidence from the courtroom itself. No testimony from the courtroom itself. And I think they only used testimony that happened months ago.
Yeah. Which is weird. And it's like he was set up to lose. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to present it. And they thought Kelsey was going to cooperate and do what they wanted her to do, but she did end up not doing it. Because I think she knew they were trying to railroad Tory Lanez. And like I said, he might have shot her. It might have been an accident. I just don't think he need to go to jail for 22 years for an accident. And I think if he really meant to shoot Meg, he needs to go to jail. If he was trying to break up a fight, he needs to say, go ahead.
Vice President Dick Cheney shot a person all in the damn face with a shotgun. He
that's true.
Damn time, Brandon.
Right.
How many people get accidentally shot? Well, watch this. The guy in New York, the receiver, Plesko, the black guy, shot
Oh yeah.
himself in the leg. His own gun, shooting his own self.
In the leg, in the
Two
club.
years in prison.
Right.
You know,
So
you see how the system is so biased.
right, right. And people get in their feelings and
The guy,
emotions and
watch this, Brandon.
what? Go
Two
ahead.
months ago, a guy in Walmart gun went off, hit two people. He didn't go to jail or nothing.
Right.
And I
But
think that's in Georgia.
oh yeah. It's a case by case
Yeah,
basis. And a lot of different things play in the part. So race plays in the part, sex plays in the part, where you are, how big of a celebrity you are, or you just a nobody, money talks. So you got to remember that. And it's not going to be fair. We say we want a fair justice system, but it's just not fair. You're not going to get the same crime. If I commit a crime in a state and you commit a crime in a state and a white man commit a crime in a state, we might get all kind of different times, and some of us might not get any time at all. So that's just something to think about. Did you want to
you're
wrap
right.
anything up? Well, we're talking about more lesson learned with Tory Lanez and Meg the Stallion. Like, be careful with these situations you in. You're having fun. You're drunk. Anything can happen, especially when firearms are around. Same thing with Takeoff. He didn't think he was gonna lose his life. Meg didn't think she was gonna get shot that night, but things can happen.
That's a good lesson learned. Watch the people or who you're around with.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in that car was halfway enemies with each other, and
Halfway enemies, halfway
person
friends.
and the only person who wasn't an enemy was the driver, and he skipped town.
Right,
They needed
which
the
don't make
person's
any sense neither.
testimony.
Right. And where else do they do that? Where an eyewitness on the scene and he was involved in the fight, quote the witness that saw the whole fight, and we're not even trying to find him really. They were fake trying to find him, but they just let him just skip town and not be a part of this case. Why?
In real life, he'll go to prison for 3 years for doing that.
Right. But we're supposed to act like that's okay and this is just normal. No, that doesn't make any sense. Nothing with this trial made any sense, and it just lets you know that people with money and power, they can do whatever they want in the courtroom, and that's what we saw that today. Well, we saw that yesterday.
Hey, Brandon, I'm in the front yard right now, right?
Okay.
Oh, about over a year ago, a dog came out here attacking Nicole and some two dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of bust my knee up defending her, right? I called
Uh-huh.
a lawyer. You know what the lawyer said to me 2 weeks ago?
What?
She said I jumped over Nicole hurting my leg.
So it's your fault that you got
I jumped hurting my leg. But what's the reason I fucking jumped for?
No, because you just wanted to. You did right, but but another lawyer could say this, but something different and understand the circumstance. But like I say, it's just a game. I don't understand. I don't understand why people take certain angles that they do. But is that the lawyer you hired for the case, or is that the somebody that's trying to defend what happened?
No, I'm trying to call around, see if I got a case. Man, this is how crooked the justice system is and the lawyer system. If it's not a guaranteed home run case with pure
Mm-hmm.
evidence,
Uh-huh.
if only time a dog can attack or do something to a person, you have to get bit. If the dog don't bite you, nothing happened. If the
Really?
dog didn't bite you, nothing happened. And
Mm.
not many lawyers would take up a case because they want that pure hard evidence.
Yeah.
So Brandon,
So
you can have a pet bull in your backyard come off of one of your whoever at your
right.
house. I won't put no words in the air. You come out there, fight the dog, throw the dog over the fence, and you slip and bust your back open.
Mm.
You can't get no money because the dog didn't bite you.
And I may can get sued because I might have hurt the dog neck, and now the dog got long lasting issues, so they might sue me for trying to save
You
my
know,
significant others or my daughter's life. Like just sometimes you look at animals and they may have more rights than you. Louis, let me ask you a question.
Well,
can a dog
uh,
ride out the window with no seatbelt on? Yeah. Can you do that? Can we ride around with no seatbelt on by the police? Do people have a dog in their lap while they driving, and that's okay. But if you don't have your seatbelt
well,
on,
that's
that's
the same thing.
what.
A dog is the same thing as a television. So you are not allowed. It's no law to secure your television inside your car, is it?
And so if I have my daughter in my lap while I'm driving, you think I'll get pulled over?
Your daughter is not property. A dog is viewed as property.
Okay, that's a good point. but but that's weird.
A dog is
So,
not a person of its property.
but it's funny how a piece of property can attack you, and I could lose my life to property.
And that's the same that I told to the lawyer. I said, if a drunk driver drove his car through the yard, I jump out the way and get hurt. Oh, I
Right,
ain't tell that driver to drive the damn car in
right,
my damn yard.
right.
But
But they don't want to
it's
take the
just,
case. They just didn't want to take the case. They be
yeah,
lazy. Like I say, they just want a home run.
yeah. It's loose negligence. They don't want to take the case for no loose letting negligence.
Mm.
So, but
I
I
know
had to let that shit go, man.
why.
Cause
Just
right
because of
down the street, right down here, because when that lawyer told me that, I was supposed to go down there and whoop his ass. You know. So, but I had to let all that shit go. You see, when you grow adults, it took me about a day. It took me
mm.
about a day not to get no get back. So, you know, because
Right.
justice gonna come two ways. We could do it civil, or we could do it some gangsters. Which one do you want? Yeah, I like 'em both. But
Right. Right.
no, three ways: justice, civil, and you could go with God. You could go with Jesus' teaching. But
That's
it took
true.
me a while to go with Jesus' teaching. I was down for about a day. I said I should have whooped his ass. I should have stabbed him. I should have got it. I ain't saying
We
nothing.
just joke, right? It's just a joke. But I did want to ask you because our channel is doing better. We're getting more engagement, and people are wanting to comment. And I see a lot of people commenting on our Dr. Umar videos. How do you feel about what Dr. Umar says? Because I'm not it's not an absolute, like, and I think it's good for people to weigh their options or pick a side, but I think when you're looking for a partner, ultimately you're gonna look for somebody that's like you. But what I don't think you're saying this either. Like, it's not set in stone that you have to marry somebody black just because you're black. But we're saying you should think about that first. Is that how you feel? How do you feel?
Dr. Umar was a blessing to our channel. Greatly appreciate him.
Right.
What Dr. Umar is saying, he is basically virtualizing that what 95% of the people in the world do today. They married
Right.
the same person that looks like them.
Right.
So
It's not
only
it's
way
not a
that was
black
hot.
thing. It's not a
It's
white
not a
thing.
black
It's
thing. It's
an
not a
Asian
white
thing.
thing.
Yeah, that's what everybody
But
does.
only thing that was hot is, I guess, it's a stigma that people should not say they supposed to marry a person in their own race or group.
Right.
But in reality, bitches, in reality, he, people marry the people who's in that same damn group. So what the fuck you getting mad for?
So hold on. Let me
You
let
see
me
what I'm
ask you
saying?
this. Let me
Candy
let me
flip.
ask you. But who you think is more upset about it? Because I see men and women getting kind of upset about it. Who you think is more upset, or who you think is more triggered by that?
You got two triggers I seen because I answered all. I respond to all the comments. Thank you. Here we real people. You got two
Right.
people. You got some passport pussies
Right. Well, we're not
who
gonna say
make
that.
$15 an hour and they on that fantasy shit and they want to trick with some bitches who's gonna cheat on them. Once they get off overseas, they sucking another person's dick, and you come on
Right.
there paying the money, you leave, they sucking another person's dick. We got
Yeah.
those people, and also we got the white people who do the exact same thing, but they can't say it. So,
Mm,
so it's those two damn people. Oh, you racist. A black person can't be racist in America. We can discriminate. We can be prejudiced. We can't be racist. Because if
right.
we could be racist, we'll have reparations by now.
And we'll be able to change stuff and affect their lives
Yeah,
directly. We can't do nothing. I can't.
correct.
I can't do anything to a white person like move them or stop their money flow or hold them back. I can't oppress white people like that. Like we just can't. We don't have power. You have to be. You have to have power to do that kind of stuff.
So the white folks need to understand a black person in America can't be racist. Because if we was racist, y'all be paying our bills every damn month. Just like
Right.
just like black people pay your bills every damn month. Because all
Mm.
that money go back to you.
Right. But and then I see people saying they don't see color and they just, they it's just what I don't understand why people go to that. Like, do you just want to argue or you don't understand the level of conversation he's trying to have with our culture to try to let us know like we need to be thinking about black first, black culture. That's what we need to work on building so we're stronger as people.
Brandon, he ain't said nothing. That is the married a black woman, he ain't
I'm talking
said
about the
nothing because
interview.
already,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because just on that clip, already 85% of us do that anyway. But the interview,
Yeah, yeah,
the
you're right.
whole interview,
Mm-hmm.
but the whole interview, yes, we do need to come together. We do need to support each other, and we do need to quit pulling us down like crowds in a blanket. And every black guy who comments on that video like F black women, I try not to curse you out because my
Right,
mama black. So you saying
right,
F my mama? My
right.
sister black. So you saying F my sister?
And I
Brandon's
want to
wife is black. So you
right, and that's what I want to do a show on that too because a lot of black men feel like they can't find a good black woman, but at the same time we talk about some things that black women do. So I know that there are good black women out here. It's just you just haven't found the black woman for you yet. I'm not sure if people try to use that as an
if
excuse, but you can't. Go ahead.
if you can't find a good black woman, that means you ain't shit your damn self. Cause birds of the feather flock together. You are the sum of the five people around you. So if you
Mm.
live in a project, who you think you gonna get? Motherfucker Michelle a wife? You crazy as hell.
So I think people need to
I
think
can't
about
find
who
no
they.
good black woman.
So you think that's just because they're not where they need to be, or are they shooting too high? Like I said, I like what you're saying, and that's very honest. I just don't think a lot of people are ready to face that. Like, what are you
But
looking for? Like, it's
we do
it's plenty. Go ahead.
we do have conditions in we do have issues with black people.
Hmm.
But some of those issues could be overcome if you work as a team and you really love each other and respect each other.
Yeah. The fighting, you're not gonna get anywhere fighting or blaming I'm blaming black women for your issues if you can't find a black woman. Same if you're a black woman, you can't blame black men because you can't find a good black man. Like we just not gonna get anywhere with that and with the dialogue on the internet. Like we can point out certain things, but at the end of the day, we still have to come together to work together and try to both lift each other up and find partners like within our community. And like I said, you can go outside of your community, that's fine too. But like you say, statistically, you're going if you're black, you're gonna marry somebody black. That's just what the statistics say.
Brandon, let me now since we talked about the black guys, let me talk about a certain demographic about the black women.
Okay, go ahead.
The black the black women who says other men provide and build stuff for they women.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is that's a damn lie. It's a damn lie. Oh, and let me prove it. For example, how many immigrants are coming over here every single year, Brandon?
Millions. Well, I'm gonna say that, but
All
thousands and
right.
thousands. Like it's a lot of immigrants coming over here illegally.
Here's the question: why are those men leaving their home country, all their family behind, their heritage behind, and coming over I answer that for you because they
Mm.
couldn't build over there. It's only
Right.
a certain amount of man who run everything.
Yeah.
Most other man is just a cog in the damn machine.
Right. Right.
So really, ain't no man is really building anything. It's just a very few people that runs the society or runs the neighborhood
Right. But
building
I think
something.
if you make a certain amount of money, women will look at you like, oh yeah, he's building, he's doing this, he's doing that. You're not doing anything. You're like you say, you're just a cog in the system. You're just another worker. You're just doing well. That's all. That's all that is. He's not outperforming us just because he's making more money or building. The system is already built. It's designed to help certain races out. I mean, that's just how it is. We've got to build our community up so we can help our people out too. And that's just one of the things we want to do on this channel. We got to wake up. We got power in numbers for sure. But we need people doing the right thing, making the right financial decisions to help us all. We gotta make sure we buying black. We gotta make sure we supporting black people. If you see damn Snoop trying to make a cereal and they trying to stop him from doing that, we need to be on Kellogg's ass, making sure that nah. We're not buying your shit no more. We're gonna buy Snoop Loops or whatever you want to call it. We're gonna support our own people because we give too much money to these companies for no reason and they don't love us. They don't care about us. They're not looking out for us.
We buy all these Gucci belts, but
We do.
the alternative lifestyle of Gucci won't
Mhm.
have your black buck use his restroom.
Right.
Oprah Winfrey couldn't take her black ass up in there with no makeup on and buy something.
Right. And she had a
The,
problem at
the
Cracker Barrel.
NFL, huh? Which about
She
Cracker
got
Barrel?
you she went to Cracker Barrel one time and they was giving her bad service or whatever. And that's a southern restaurant. They didn't care about her. They just saw a black woman trying to come in there and get food. They don't care about you. But go ahead.
And we keep paying them money. Every
Hmm.
time we get paid, including myself, I go white to a white organization and buy some shit and buy some stuff.
Right.
And
When
you
we're
got
the
to think about,
trendsetters.
yeah, we the trendsetters. They take all our ideas, our styles, and
Hmm.
then they sell it back to you.
Right.
And then when you get jammed up, they ain't there for you.
Right. Hey, well, we're gonna
So
wake up one
that's
day.
all I got. But I do,
Hmm.
like I said, 1,000 years will wake up. And
Yeah.
about white folks been on top for about 600 years. The next 1,000 years, about 1,000 years from now, black folks will get back to it.
Right. Right. Did you have anything else you want to talk about? What and do you still stand on the same thing you say? I think you said Gunner didn't snitch. Do you still feel the same way?
I
I
said
just people.
Gunner said yes or no questions. So he said yes, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. So I he read a script, but I think that script was snitching. But he read a script.
Okay.
But
All right.
they act like he came out there. You try to put me on the spot. They act like he came out there and said a damn sentence. He can't
But you
a sentence his damn self.
but
But he can say yes, ma'am.
I just think it's funny how people think that snitching is not a part of crime. Like you say, most people snitch. If you get caught, you're gonna tell. That's what happens eight out of 10 times for the most part, maybe 9 out of 10 times. But I think people like to think people are standing tall. They're not cooperating with the law. They just gonna do the time. No, you're gonna be talking. You're trying to work out a deal because you want less time. That's just a fact.
If you can't tell the truth to your baby mama or your girlfriend, what you gonna do when you get on the stand? If you're afraid to talk to her, what you gonna do? You get on the stand looking at a bunch of white people in robes. You tell you heard you go and tell because you can't handle the consequences.
Right, and that's the
I
thing.
want you like what people don't know about me. What the fuck? What do I got to lie for?
Mm.
I don't give a fuck about a person's feelings or what they think. I tell the damn truth. I got to lie for it. Because if I do a sin, I ain't doing a sin to sin on another person. I sin on myself.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting a sin on you.
Yeah. I
So
was I was
lying to
watching
people,
I was
lying
watching a
to you,
video.
king.
Yeah. I was watching a video where Young Thug, he was on Wallow and Gilly's podcast. He was just talking about snitching and stuff like that. He was saying, you know, I'm not gonna snitch because I'm gonna just keep it real with myself. Like I just stand on what I stand on as a man. Like if you do something, you have to stand on it and just be accountable for what you did, basically is what he's saying. And a lot of people have struggled with that. Like as a man, if you make a mistake, if you choose a decision, you got to stand on it and kind of own up to it. Or it's still gonna be unresolved within yourself. So I mean, if you want God to forgive you, you can't worry about the law forgiving you, but speak up with what you done. You got to stand on it. I mean, you try to point the finger at other people. You have to be accountable for what you do.
That's not really snitching what you talked about, Brandon. That's just if you did the
But
crime, do the time.
people want to do the crime, then be like pull other people in to try to get their time. You can't do that now. Like you said, we go back to the scenario. Me and you did a crime, and this let's just say we both got caught, and then you started doing some stuff, talking to them behind the scenes and talking about yeah, Brandon. I'm gonna just say I ain't had nothing to do with it, but I'll give you all the info on Brandon so y'all can give Brandon more time. No, you're not gonna do that. I would assume you're not gonna do that. And you're gonna be like, Brandon, I'm
More
like,
than
Lewis, have you
likely,
been? Go ahead.
more than likely, I'm taking all my shit. Everything I do, I'm taking it forward, head to the steam.
Right.
If
Because
I don't
are
give a
you?
fuck about a boss. A boss don't scare me.
Mm,
If I mess up, I say I messed up. I don't fuck I got a
mm,
lot of folk.
right. But
But here's the
people
thing.
not
Here's
built
the
like
thing
that.
different, Brandon. I'm not doing them fucked up situations to put me in that damn situation in the first damn place.
Right. But let's say you did though. Will your conscience be clear? would it
That's the key. I
Mm,
ain't doing it.
right. But
I'm not doing it.
all right. Well, let's say you got a ghost gun and you just riding around and something happened and you end up somebody scared you and you shot them and you didn't call the police. You fled. Let's but now later, you sell me a gun. I'm like, oh shoot, you got a ghost gun? Let me get that, Lewis. And somehow it ties back to me. Are you gonna come and save me? I'm like, Lewis, that gun you gave me, they saying they saying it's got they saying somebody got murdered with the gun. Are you gonna come forward and tell them, no, I shot that guy. Brandon didn't shoot him. Or are you gonna let me
I
go
ain't
down?
doing it, Brandon. You can't do hypotheticals because I ain't doing it in the first damn
Okay.
place.
Okay. So your thing is you're not even gonna put yourself in a position where you gotta be compromised or have to even think about being compromised as a man. Because
Well,
you don't even
I
wanna
don't do
hmm?
because if you do the time, you do the crime.
What do you mean if you do
I
the
ain't
crime?
doing it. I ain't doing it.
Okay, okay. But that's what
Shit, like I
everybody says. That's what everybody says, and then they end up doing a crime, and then something happened, and then now they got to try to tell on some other stuff and be like, look, if I cooperate and get you some more people, will you make my sentence less? Can I go home? Can I get probation? Can I get something? And they know, like I say, 9 times out of
Brandon, you say
10.
everybody. I'm not everybody, Brandon.
Okay, all right,
I am not everybody. Like some people, if you got a boss, oh, I gonna write you up. So the fuck what? You know what I mean? I done it. Yeah, I messed up.
right, right. What's funny you say
and
that? Like,
it took me.
go ahead.
And it took me a while. I mean, I messed up. I do like small mistakes at work. Oh, you missed
Mm-hmm.
this. I said, okay, yeah, I try my best.
Right,
Go, you got to do what you got to do. Go ahead and do it.
right.
I ain't whining about
It's
you.
it's funny. It's funny you say that because that's how I am. Like, if I make a mistake, especially at work, it's like I don't take it. I don't internalize it. I don't take it that serious. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try to not make that mistake. If you need to suspend me or you need to fire me, it is what it is. Like I'm just gonna be me. It's gonna be I'm not that's you're not gonna scare me. You're not gonna make me feel bad. And I just don't take those kind of things to heart. Like I ain't gonna be stressed out. You know how you make a mistake, they're gonna be like, well, do you have anything to say about it? They be trying to make you feel like a little kid or something. If your boss trying to make you feel like a little kid and you a grown ass man, tell fuck this job. I don't need it. I'm a grown ass man. If I mess something up, all right, cool. What you gonna do about it? You don't have to be on that, but I'm just saying, don't let nobody
No,
try to
wait.
belittle you. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to be like that, Brandon. If they gonna fight, I ain't quitting. They gonna have to fire me. I ain't
Yeah,
quitting.
yeah,
You fire me. I want to pay tax. Then you fire me. Some motherfuckers will quit.
right,
Their job. They'll quit now.
right,
I go to the job and do shit. Force them because they
right.
gotta pay you for not doing
Exactly.
nothing. Force them to fire your ass.
And not only that, I know what
Yeah.
kind of worker I
So
am. Like I know I'm the prize. So if you want to get rid of me over a mistake or you want to suspend me over a mistake, cool. But I still know my worth as a man. So you do whatever you want to do. If I make a mistake, it is what it is. What you gonna do about it?
but I will let the audience know it took a having a little funds in the bank to really back up that the mindset.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes if you don't have enough funds in the bank, you better shut the fuck up and do what you got to do. But if you
That's
have
true
enough
too.
funds in the bank and you actually asset to the company, I don't let nobody dog it, duke it, the dog. That's in my young 20s. I'm
Yeah.
in the 40 now. You a grown man better not raise their voice at me, 'cause I may slap the shit out you right here. You know?
At work.
So be easy. Yeah, it work. Be
Right.
easy. I used to have a license plate in North Carolina. It was called Be Easy. Be easy on me. I'm easy on you. Be easy. Raise your voice up. Straight raise the voice at me. Boy, I slap
Right.
the shit out your ass. Right here. So I'm not even a valid person. I'm not
Right.
even a valid person.
But you're a man. Like I
Not
say,
even a
come
valid.
just come correct.
And
I think that's a
sometimes people back in the
go ahead.
day that get me out my character. Sometimes they get me out my character, but not all the time. But here's the thing: if you want to, like at the job, if you want to fight me, we can. If you want to fight after work, we can. I'll be your boss. We can. If you want to, if I say I ain't your boss after work, if you can, and ain't nobody ain't never, cause just be real with people.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to fuck nobody over, but
Right.
shit, I ain't gonna damn back down for you.
Right.
If I had to, here's the trick: if you gotta like discipline somebody, if they can't sit down, you can't sit down, cause they got this stick. Cause they come across there and want to swing on you, you gotta be at the same level. So that's a little trick with people. Like Brandon, you got a disciplined person and you sitting down and they standing up. Don't do that.
right. Right.
Don't do
right.
that.
Right. If you gotta tell somebody
Cause they
something, you need to be eye level. Right.
got that shit. If they want to do that, that's already on you.
right.
But when you at the same height, but it ain't never come to that. But I do think about that shit.
Right.
Like
Right.
if I
That's
had to rise somebody up and they don't want to sit down, shit, I ain't sitting down. Shit, he could get crazy and swing across me. I'm swinging too.
have you ever
So,
had to write
but yeah,
somebody up though? Have you had to write somebody up?
Brandon, I fired people before, Brandon,
And has that
and
always gone smooth?
and yes, because they deserve to get fired. Here's the motto: I don't fire people; they fire their damn self.
But I'm saying, has it gone
So
smooth? The transition gone smooth? Like they taking it well?
yes,
Okay.
because it ain't the first time we been in this motherfucking seat talking to each other.
All
It's
right.
probably the third damn time,
Yeah.
and
They
that's
already
the
kind
hell.
of
And
see it
you
coming.
and the person refused to. I don't. I'm not one of those people. I try to coach people, train people to get them the direction they have to go.
Yeah.
But you refuse not to go in that direction. It is what it is.
right. And I
Shit, when they
think
fired me, they had to escort. I was cool the other day. They had to escort me out the damn building. I said, "Come on, why you gotta walk behind me while I talk to my guys?"
But that wasn't because you did something wrong,
yeah,
though.
I've been here for this long. No, that wasn't because I did something wrong. But shit. But hey, I ain't never had nobody to do that because it's coming. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy like that. I got the 3 strikes. We trying to train you, try to coach you, but some people won't change.
yeah. And you got to do
Some
what you
people
got to
won't
do.
change. Yeah. That's how I write people up. Right. Yeah. Before they get fired, they gotta get rolled a couple of times.
Right. You
Cause
do
in
the
case somebody want to
verbal.
come back to try.
You do the written.
I do usually. I before usually it's a verbal. Then
Mm-hmm.
I may do another verbal. Then I'll write it down on a piece of paper, the date and time of this. Then they
Yeah.
do it again. Then I do it written. Then they do it again. I'm like, hey, then you maybe time to go.
Right.
Maybe time to go. Sometimes, very rarely, I was real young. I did a verbal. Then the next time, I had an old school white manager. His ass got fired. So, and this is what I told him. I said, "Oh, you can't do this, cause go. I don't like pickboard. You can't do this. Go ahead and leave. I do your job for you. You can go home."
Right. That's how you and when you at work, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's just business. Like you here to do a job, and if you can't do that job, well, why you here?
Yeah,
And
I
people
told him to
don't
go home.
seem. Go ahead.
I think his wife cursed him out because he came back with a different attitude, but it was already too late.
Right. And that's just part of it. But all right,
Yeah.
Louis, we ain't gonna drag this episode out too long because I'm not even sure how it's gonna sound, but we did about 40 minutes today. Did you want to touch on anything else? I was trying to think if it was any real topics that we want to discuss.
We don't need to touch on nothing. My feet getting cold. It's
Mm-hmm.
18 degrees,
All
and the
right.
car ain't on.
Well, we'll go ahead and end it here. I think this was all right, show. Like I say, we'll be back to normal after Christmas. I hope everybody has a safe holidays. Enjoy your family. Like I say, you never know how long you have with people, so cherish these moments. A lot of people are going through stuff during the holidays, so make sure you're communicating with your family and making sure everybody's okay. People not gonna tell you, especially men, they ain't gonna tell you what they're really going through, but you can kind of sense it sometimes. So, Louis, you want to say anything else before we end it?
Guys, thank you for the support. Make sure you check out our other videos. We have a lot of videos with great insight. We talk about things a lot of people don't talk about on this YouTube channel. We also want to empower you and inform you of the new things that's going around in the black community.
Yeah. But like I say, thanks again, guys. Catch us around. All right, Louis, have a good one.
All right.